Okay, I'm just about to leave this job now. Spent all morning here, got here at about 7:15. I think it's about 12 o'clock now, so I've had an intense few hours of just going around, touching up. And for me, this is the worst part of any decorating job, which is literally walking out the door, because if you keep looking for things, you will keep finding things. And there will always be something that stares at you. I've just seen something in that corner now. Get my brush out again, look, yeah, I'll show you what I've seen. Just that little bit of grey needs cutting in along the top of that skirting line there, and a little bit there. It's all looking good. I'll get my brush out and do that in a second. So it's all looking nice now. Yeah, it's all fairly sharp. I won't go in too close because you can pull anything apart if you're going ridiculously close with these cameras. I think as a plasterer that does decorating, I never feel satisfied because no wall is ever as good as a wall that you would leave as a plasterer. So when you're decorating an old wall, you want it to be perfect because that's how you leave them as a plasterer. But anyway, enough waffle from me because you've had a lot of me this week. And there should be a little pot under here with a key in it. There's a load of water here. Oh, where's the pot? I can't bend down that far, I'm old. Right. There's a little key here, look at that. Superb. Right, welcome back everybody. This is my job for the next, I would say 5 days really. Well, he's done all right, you know. The bloke that's better than me. Now then, the bloke that's I'm doing this for is a younger couple, and they're moving into this house, obviously. He's a chippy by trade. He's fitting all the kitchen and doing all the woodwork. And he did start on the plastering. And to be honest, he ain't done a bad job, to be honest. Let's show you his plastering. So this is a chippy's plastering. There's little bits and pieces, but you know, nothing like a little pass of a bit of sanding won't do. I think he said he struggled a bit with sealing because it was going off a bit. But you know what? He ain't done a bad job. I've left jobs worse than that. I can only be honest with you. Yeah, do you know what? A little bit of sand, he's missed a little bit of the finishing, you know. It's obviously caught him out a bit, but by and large, a bit of sandpaper on that and then a couple of coats of emulsion. You ain't ever going to see that was wrong, really. Which is obviously a little bathroom. Anyway, let me take you up because this is not the bit I'm doing. I am doing up and down, right. I am doing. He's done all the bonding for me. Good lad, good lad. So it's not massive areas. This is the biggest room. So I've got this bedroom here. A few ins and outs. Got this ceiling with a curve on it. Well, they call it a cottage curve. I've always called it a cottage curve. I don't know what people call it. But I'm going to turn it into a slight curve because the angles, the lines don't run straight. So I said to him, instead of me doing the straight in, straight down, I'll just put a bit of a curve on it and that way we can get a better line. So I've got this room here, which is the biggest part of the job. And then I've got a smaller bedroom here. Take you back a bit, hold on, there we go. Smaller bedroom here. Again, I shall stick a slight curve on that rather than that angle. And then we've got a tiny little bedroom here. So it's a little 3-bedroom workers' cottage, I would imagine. Lovely views out the window. Very nice. Got quite a good garden. I think their garden goes up to them sort of little two tree stump bits there. So yeah, got a nice little garden there. Lots of work to be done on the property though, I think. Anyway, back to my plastering. So yeah, a little room here. And then it's just this little bit of hall stairs and landing, which is it's very shallow. There's not a lot of movement in it, so it's just that wall down there, obviously, and then this down there. So I've given myself 5 days on this. I mean, I might be pushing it actually, 5 days, but I can just crack into this. So again, there's no time limit. There's no pressure on me to get done. But I thought, you know what, I'll have five days. I'll just crack into it. No one here. It's a little beauty, really. He's got all the gear downstairs for me. He's got 10 bags of finish. He's got a load of PVA. There's a couple of other bits he wants me to do somewhere. I can't think what that was. But let's get some bits out, and I'll probably pick off this big room first. Already I'm finding uses for this, look. Absolutely cracking. Keep it in your pocket. Job's a good one. Any more about? So I've decided to jump on this ceiling, the biggest ceiling in the biggest room, really, get this done and start picking some walls off, and then stuff can be shifted into it, and this can be used as a bit of a storeroom. Then you can start getting your skirtings on and getting a room finished. So customer's been round and bonded all the tops up, and he said he's PVA'd everything, but if you're a plasterer, you will trust another man with your wife more than you would to PVA your walls, because as we all know, people don't get into them little places where we need to get into. So I'm going to scrape back all the bonding that he's done, because it's probably going to need a little flatten off here and there, because it's probably a few lumpy bumpies everywhere. And then I will give it all, no, not a PVA, I'm going to give it all an SBR. So I'm just going to mix some normal SBR in with some of Kirk's pink SBR and just chuck it everywhere. Let's get on with a little bit of preparation. Preparation H. Now, I'm a big fan of Kirk's SBR, not because I'm trying to grovel to Kirk or trying to get myself promoted on YouTube or anything like that, but I really do like it. I just think it dries nice. Obviously, it's a decent colour, you can see where you've been. But another thing I like about it is just got a normal lid on it. You just unscrew it and there you go. Yeah, well done for Kirk or whoever designed these things, just to have a normal lid on it that normal people can just go like that and undo. So that's a big thumbs up from me, that one. Boxes nice and neat because the customer put a load of bonding in them, and obviously some of it went over the edge, and so you don't really want to be plastering onto that. You want to get it nice, you know, before you start plastering, really, so your plaster's got a decent edge to end up to. So I've just been cutting these back, and I know I'm going to keep on about this because I'm a bit excited about it, but this has been just absolutely brilliant for them little bits. Like, it's just, you don't want to start digging brushes in there, especially if there's electrics about. So if these people want to sponsor me, I'll be more than happy to tell the whole world what a brilliant little thing this is. So Wolfbox, get in touch with me, give me a few t-shirts, give me a couple of £100 a week, and yeah, I shall sing the praises of your product. A couple of small gaps just to contend with. Yeah, and down there as well, and there. So I hope I've got enough in here. If not, I'll pick some more up, but I'm just going to squirt a load in there and let that pick up. That's better. A little drop will do us. So while that's all picking up, the whole room's now had an SBR. I'll give it a couple along the bonding bits. So while that's just picking up, it's drying already actually, it dries pretty quick. You can see this ceiling line, look, it's all over the show, so that's why I'm just going to form a curve really, and then I haven't got to follow. You can see about there where my finger is, there's obviously a low joist So that's going to cause a little bit of aggro, but what do you do? I don't know how old these places are, but they've obviously got a little bit of movement in them, low joists. Let me show you this. So you can see that there's a crack there, and when I was rolling it I could feel there was a discrepancy. So I don't know how well you'll see this, but if I put a straight edge on that and try and show you what's going on there, now you can see we're straight there, and then this joist obviously kicks down, and then we've got that going on. So by the time if we got that straight and got to the other end of that wall, we're going to be down about 4 inches, which is obviously a no-go. We've just got to deal with what we've got, really. So something to be aware of. You can't fix everything, so that's going to affect this ceiling line as well along here. So I will have to try and do something to sort of try and get that to disappear, but we're never going to get that completely out. But so we can obviously feather off of that quite wide and lose it as we get down there. I'm all mixed up and I'm ready to go. I've had some music on today. I've been dancing about to a bit of T-Rex. Fancied some music, something uplifting, you know. It's Friday, I've got that Friday feeling. We're using a 18-inch carbon today, and I'm just going to fly along this bit first and then chuck the ceiling on. Right, I'll come back to you in a while when it's all on, otherwise it's going to be a very boring watch. Right, I've just literally chucked it all on. I put it on with the 18-inch carbon, and then I laid it in quickly, just get all the lines out, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this. Well, hopefully not hate, but you know, I know it's a massive opinion divider. But I just quickly laid it in with my Plasiflex, and the reason for that is you can get on soaking wet plaster very early with a plastic trowel and just get rid of the worst of them lines. I know what I'm doing with a plastic trowel. I know that they're there for the final polish and all that, so I'm well aware that I've ridden any ups and downs, but this won't make it worse than what it was. It will only sort of level it more, although it won't get it as flat as a solid steel trowel. We are all on. It's coming up to 20 to 1. Time is absolutely flying today. I was really hoping to get more done than this, but it's taken a little bit of time this ceiling, and also the preparation this morning. So by the time this is all polished up, you're probably looking at about 1:30. So I might chuck some more on. I'm just being lazy, if I'm honest. It's Friday, and I don't want to be about too late. So this is the second of the wet trowels now. Get in there. You can see on that line where that joist is so low, I mean, you've not even got any plaster on that bit, that's how low it is. And that's had 2 good coats this ceiling. So if you just come off and pass off to the left, obviously I'm left-hander, so, but when you come up, don't come up like that. When you come up to that bit, just take it across. It's quite hard to explain, but it was always a natural hand movement to me. That as you pull up, you just go across like that. I find if you go up, like, you just don't get the good finish. So, so straight up, hit the curve, just pull off to the side. Obviously, if you're right-handed, you'd be doing it that way. Let's go again. So straight up, hit the curve, just move across at an angle. Straight up, moves across at an angle. It just seems to work. And the same if you was coming down into it as well. Come down, go across. Don't come down like that. It just doesn't feel as good. You don't have to exaggerate it, but just like that. There you go. I think we're ready just to finish off with this Nello now, really. The annoying thing is that you'll get these ceilings really lovely and smooth, you know, you'll put the effort into them and you'll get them like glass, and then like most people that are doing their own houses up, because I think they're doing their own painting, they'll probably just go and buy a cheap roller set, a cheap trade matte paint, and just slap it on and put all that texture back on, which you've just spent hours taking off. Are we the only country that likes our plaster as smooth as this? I've not travelled much in my life, you know, I've only done the normal holiday places. But you never see plaster like ours. That would be the dream job, wouldn't it? Being a plasterer in Spain or something. Can you imagine, you know, one of us that was used to getting walls and ceilings like this, going out to Spain and being a plasterer? It would be an absolute piece of piss, wouldn't it? You could just chuck a room on and it is what it is once you've trailed it. I suppose it's alright. Good enough. Fair enough. Where did you come from? What? Get you out of there. That's it. I was so tempted just to go home. I've just got one more polish on this, thought I'd go home after, and I can't, it's only 1:15. You lazy bastard. Right. looking at these walls thinking, oh, you could get another one on there. It's 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Do I really want to be putting more on? No, I don't. But I just checked my phone. I've just been paid for the decorating job, so get in there. It's always nice, isn't it, when they pay you. Another little tip for those of you that can plaster, but you know, you're sort of more at the beginning stage of it all. When you do an external corner like this, be very aware that someone after you has got to come along and put a skirting board on it. So what you want to do is make sure that that is straight, because what can happen is, and I've done it myself, I only tell you these things because I know from experience, is that you can put your plaster on and it can all look lovely and smooth, but there can be a curve because obviously it builds out when it hits the bead. So if you're coming in from a line and scooping out that way and coming on and scooping out onto the bead that way, when the chippy puts his skirting board on, he's going to have a big gap there and a big gap there, and he won't be very happy, and then it means it's got to have a big lump of filler in it at that end, because chances are the skirting will be fine down that end, it will hit the wall, but as you dip in and out, the skirting's got to float across basically open space. So when he puts his line of cork along it, you're going to have a bit of a build up here and here, and it doesn't look good. So just be mindful when you are coming off of it with your trowel. This is where a longer trowel starts doing you a good favour, because it's further back. So when you're troweling up these bits, if you've got a short trowel, you won't really get as far ahead as you want. So a longer trowel, or maybe a speed skim, will do you the favour. It will take you up either side, and it will ramp that off to a nice even level then. So obviously I've put this ceiling on, I've put them 2 bits of wall on, and I could have easily chucked all them bits of wall on as well. I'm sort of kicking myself for not doing it really. Feel like I've wasted a bit of time today, but it is Friday, and you know, it's the end of the week. We've all had a bit of a week, haven't we? Oh, what else have I done? I've just stuck a bit of board up there because he wanted it more equal to the window frames, because that was a bit higher up there, so he just wanted a bit of equal distance around there. So I've just chucked that on there, so that can go off nicely. Hopefully it won't move as soon as I leave here and start doing different things. That's all wedged. So then, yes, I will be back in here Monday morning, chucking all this on, and then just picking these bits off.